All right, so just as a general reminder, whenever you or anybody else logs into the homeowner portal, we'll start you on this homeowner dashboard. This area is kind of just a hub for an overview of your personal account, and it's a location where homeowners can submit requests, such as the architectural request. That button is found at the bottom. It is a little bit small. We are trying to work with Vantica and making it a little bit more visible, since it's a common area that homeowners may try to utilize. But for the time being, I also have included a hyperlink up at the very top that will fast track them to their area. As an architectural member or a board member, not only will you have your open issues, which is kind of anything personal in nature for your account, but you'll also have this My Board Tasks, which would list anything like an architectural request that may be assigned to you pending a review. And I'll come back to this page in a little bit. But just as a general overview on submitting an architectural request, when they do submit the request, they can submit a general question, stuff like that on the general request. But then you have this ARC request that they can initiate the request on their own portal if they want. The area of work has a number of drop-down options that they can select from. These items are customizable on an association level. So some of these items that are in your drop-down do not pertain to your specific community. You can reach out to your property manager and ask for some edits to this list. So therefore, what's available to your homeowners to pick is going to be anything that may apply to your specific community. For example, if you're a condominium association and the association handles roof repairs, you may not want to have a roof modification request on there because a homeowner can't replace their own roof and things like that. They can include a subject if they want to get a little bit more specific, and then include the work to be done. They can indicate an estimated start date and end date. Commonly, we see people will try to, do their start date for this Saturday because everything is always urgent, and we understand that. And then they can upload any pictures, drawings, request form, things like that, and then submit it. If you do utilize a request form, it is available right here that they can pull. If you don't want to use an architectural request form, then we can just have nothing here, and they can just fill out all of their contents in the work to be done dialog box. So now we'll head on over to the architectural and board access kind of area. When you are assigned to either role, you'll have this board actions tab. Down below, as an architectural member, you will have this architectural page and then a reports page that I'll show you here in a little bit. If you're a board member as well, obviously you'll have more features, but the architectural page is just for this basis. So here on this page, I do have some instruction up at the top as to what everything means, what you can do on this page, but we will go over that here today. This page is broken up into 3 categories: a My Items, an Open, and a Closed. The My Items is going to be anything that is currently assigned to the Architectural Committee for review. So here is kind of your main hub as an architectural committee member, that you can look at anything that's open and needs a response from the committee back to us, so we can convey that decision back to the homeowner. The Open will show you anything that's open regardless of who's assigned to what. So here, if you're just a board member and you don't serve on the architectural committee, this is where you can see any open architectural requests that may be assigned to your committee, or maybe it was a homeowner had just submitted a request and it's in the first step, which is a manager review step that we do to review the request to make sure all the documents that you typically require, everything makes sense, and we deem that you know, the homeowner has submitted sufficient detail for your committee to make an informed decision. So for example, I have this one request here, which was just submitted by a homeowner, but it's not yet been assigned to the committee just yet. So it's in this application received manager review step. And then anywhere you see architectural review step, this is the step to where it's going to be assigned to the architectural committee for review. Only being a board member, you will not see anything in your My Items page because you're not assigned to the architectural committee. But if you are a board member and you also serve as your architectural committee, then this is where you will see things that are assigned to you. But if you're just a board member, you'll see it just in the open area here. These pages are customizable with what you see in these various columns. I currently have the default settings that many of you may see. This may work for you, it may not, but you can customize it any way that you may like to work with it, and whatever you save here will not affect your other team members with your association. This is only customizable to your user preferences. Whatever you customize on any of these pages do correlate to all three tabs, so just keep that in mind. But if you want to customize anything, you can click on any of these three dots located on any of the columns, and you will see this column chooser, and then it will list all the columns that are currently checked, and you can uncheck and add anything that you like. So if you don't really care to see the step, you can take that off. Due date, ARC type are probably a couple that you might like to keep. The subject might be good, which is anything that the homeowner may have typed in the subject line that may elaborate a little bit more. The item details will list kind of the homeowner's name and address, so that would be a good one to have. The description is one that I would personally recommend you take off of this screen. And I'll show you over here, you know, the description is everything that the homeowner will show you. If they get lengthy, you know, it can make one request very large on this page. The width of this depends on how many columns you have here. And I kind of consider this page more as like your summary page. And you can expand into any request and look at the full description, which I'll show you here in a moment. But if you come back to the column chooser, take out the step, you have these, you take out the description, the XN, this is kind of the ticket number per se for all of these. So anytime you want to reference something, the XN number is always something very good. And then you have a follow-up date, and if you want a last note time, you can do that to see any of the latest activity that's occurred on the account. And then the attach you could possibly take off as well. Once you've customized this page the way you like it, you can visit this gearbox off to the right and you get a few options. And if you click Save Grid Settings, this is how it will save it for the next time you visit this page. It will remember these columns that you like. Since I did some modifications, it hasn't really fit the screen. One way you can do that is just go and refresh your web page, and then it'll span out these columns here together. If you do add every single column, you will run out of room because this is a kind of grid view. So located at the bottom, you do have the slide bar feature, but you can also click on any one request and then just use your left and right arrow on your keyboard, or slide left and right anywhere within this grid box if you're on like an iPad or an iPhone. But let's say you're ready to review a request. You can click the eyeball that's off to the right, and this will open up an expanded view to look at that one specific modification request. And then here you can see the full description from end to end, which is why I kind of suggested to not have that description on kind of that summary page, because here you can see the full view. Then you can see any of the steps and activity that may have occurred. You may see paperclip icons, and these indicate that there are an attachment. And so when you click the attachment, you can see things like the any pictures a homeowner may have done, or the request form. You have the drop down option here, or you can preview left and right. There are times that the picture does not fit this screen fully. And whenever that happens, you can just click into the screen, right click on your mouse, and you can select the open image in a new tab. And when you do that, it will open a new tab on your browser and show you a full screen view of that attachment. You have the opportunity of sending a message. So if you're just a committee member and not the architectural chair, you could send your message back to the team, and then it will document and archive your response within this request. As you can see here, this message will go to the manager, architectural committee, and the chair. So an email will go out that the rest of the team will see, coming from our info@accessmgt.com. So if you reply, the rest of your committee will see that. And whenever you're ready to go back to the summary page, you can click this little ARC icon, or just click the architectural page to return back to the summary screen. I'll show you another example of when an image can be excessively blown up. So here's someone trying to send a picture of a dead tree, very large, can't see it. You got to really scroll down and side to side to be able to see it. We click open image in new tab. And it'll show you the full screen view. At least on my phone, iPad, stuff like that, I am able to hold my finger on my screen and get the same kind of option to open in a new tab to see a full screen. So if you're trying to look on a mobile or tablet, iPad device, you can look at those possible features as well to see if that's something that can work for you. Some of these pages are a little challenging sometimes with the iPhones and iPads if you're one to try to go out in the field. We are continuing to work with Vantica. I know it's something that they continue to work on making these pages in the portal more mobile friendly. So hopefully we'll have some updates on that in the future. Let's go back to the main screen. So I am a architectural chair in our test environment here for Presidential Valley. As an architectural chairperson, if you come over and click on any of these three dots on the summary, you're going to see approve, decline, and send a message. If you're just an architectural member, you're only going to see the send message, which will pull a pop-up. You can type your message. You might have an opportunity to select who to send the message to. If you do have that feature, you want to let everybody know, you would pick, manager, architectural committee, and then also the architectural chair. So that way everybody will see the message that you've put on this one request. But as an architectural chairperson, once you've seen that your group has given a majority decision, you can come and visit this and select either the approve or decline. If you click approve, you'll get a few options here. One's going to be the architectural decision approved, where you guys just approve it as submitted, or you approve it with conditions. If you do have conditions, then here in the note section, you can type out whatever those conditions may be that you're trying to, tell us and your manager what to convey back to that homeowner. You say whatever it is, and you click update. Then that request is going to go back to us, and we'll convey that message back to the homeowner. Same thing if you select decline, you will get a few other options. Maybe, we submitted it to you guys, but you feel there's more information needed. You can deny it with more info needed, or you can deny it flat outright, or maybe the homeowner indicated to you that they want to withdraw that application, and we just want to go ahead and follow up with a formal letter to acknowledge that withdrawal and that the request is not pending anymore. So depending on your approve or deny, you'll get a few options back to you. When we send these communications out to you with that notification, obviously you can visit this portal page and utilize the viewing capabilities, but we also can include any attachments that may have been part of this request. And if you have everything that you need, you don't necessarily have to visit this portal page and render your decision. If you simply reply back to the email that we had sent, it will also come in as a message, similar to you just doing a message here. So even if you reply to that email, your entire team, as well as us, will see that message, come on in and connect itself to this modification request. Another quick thing on this page, you may see a request here has a red dot. This red dot indicates that this request has passed the follow-up date or a due date. So these follow-up and due dates are dates that we can enter into our system when we are sending that request to you. So what we may seek to do is, if your community has a 30-day window to respond, we may do a follow-up date that might be 2 to 3 weeks away from that date. And then the due date would obviously be when it's actually due, your drop dead date. So this is, these columns here could be good for you to organize how you see things. And a lot of these columns, you can sort them ascending and descending, which you can either do by clicking the 3 dots and sorting, but you can also just go to any column and just click one time to begin to sort it ascending. I'll try to zoom in here a little bit, but there's a little blue arrow that indicates that you're sorting ascending and descending. If you click it another time, it will sort ascending. Click it once more to clear that filter there. You also have additional filter capabilities here. You can come into the item details or the subject if you're wanting to look for anything regarding a tree. You can filter sort yourself there. If you want to get a little bit deeper on that filter, you want to add another keyword, you have an opportunity to do that in this filter column. And here you can also clear any filtering that you have going on, as well as just clicking an X. So again, any of the grid settings that you establish on any one of these will transcend to the other columns there. And then again, heading back on over to the dashboard. Here's another opportunity for you to, fast track yourself to look at any architectural request. This is a different page than this architectural page. You do have a lot of the same capabilities, but some of these columns do vary from the architectural page. From a general sense, if you're looking to review architectural requests, I would suggest you go to the actual architectural page. But you could do a lot of the same things with reviewing requests here, sending a message, things of that nature. But if you're not getting all the information that you may need here or the columns to pick, just head on back over to this architectural page and look at it there. And finally, architectural report. If you as a committee member or board member want to just pull a architectural report for any sort of board meeting, stuff like that, you can visit the IRC report. When you click the view, a pop-up will occur and you will get a screen similar to this. Off to the right, you do have report filtering options, either a date range, whether or not you want just the description, step changes, or perhaps all the notes. You can select any of the steps it may be on, or spot select, you know, if you just want to see any that were in a complete step. If you do make any edits off to the right, there is a preview button on the bottom that you need to click to refresh the page off to the left and see any of the details that you want. You can print, export these pages to PDF, whatever you need to do there. And it will show you everything that you want to see for that date range and notes and things of that nature. So with that, that is about it on, you know, how to utilize this page here. Just remember the eyeball, you can view your details, send a message, look at attachments via the paperclip. If you go back to any request, you can also see the emails that may have been generated. So here you see the email icon off to the right. If you click that, it will pull up the email that was sent. So this is the email notification that you as a committee member would get from us whenever we initiate the review phase. And again, you know, you may get everything you need to render a decision off that email, and you can simply reply to the email with your vote on that. We also do, when we send a request to you guys, we will send the homeowner a courtesy email notification letting them know that we've received and submitted their request to the ACC and that it is pending review. And then those homeowners can visit the My Items page, and that's where they can see any architectural requests that might be pending the review there, and they can look at various status updates. The My Items page also has the Submit a Request feature up here at the top to go with the dashboard area. And with that, that will conclude our presentation aspect. So we again, thank you for joining. Now we'll just move into any Q&A that we got.
Great, thank you so